That was Here and Now. The song can be found on the Exposure Therapy album, WINGTIPS' debut record. Here to talk to us about that and the new material that WINGTIPS is working on is the founding member, the vocalist and the guitarist of WINGTIPS from his home in Chicago, Vincent Segretario. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you guys?
Doing great. So nice to see you. I was at your show in Oakland in 2019 when you were on tour with Ashcode, and I was already a fan since Deaf Pursuit came out as a single in the spring of that year, and then your album, the first full length, you had releases before that, but the first full length came out in the summer, and then he came in the fall, and it was a really good show. I love Ashcode, but you guys stole the show. It was absolutely enthralling, and your stage
Thank
performance,
you.
Obviously took a lot of work. And so I think the first thing that I'd like to talk about is where the inspiration came from to put so much work into your stage performances. You're kind of known for that. And I know that you and Hannah Avalon, the other member of WINGTIPS, met when you were in school for theater, right? So I'm assuming that it has something to do with that.
Yeah, so we met in 2013 at school. We were both studying theater. And I definitely think that since not only we were performing, because ultimately we became really into the idea of the technicality behind theater, how to present it, the physical aspects. I definitely think that's a core value of our performances. But I think that, when you see a live performance, the music is only half the experience. So we've always felt that it's necessary to put our presentation and image to the front. And, with what resources we have, we've always wanted to create the biggest experience possible. We always wanted to just really go above and beyond and really just do more than we think we should do, there's always, it's always important to remember you can make things smaller if you go too big, but it's harder to make things big,
Right,
so
right.
Start big and get smaller if you need to, but I don't think that it's necessary to get smaller. If you can be as big as you can be, whatever. But we just really wanted to create the biggest show that we could with what we have. And I've always been motivated by wanting to take feelings that I've felt from other live experiences at some point, which moved me, and use those in our own.
Thank you. Exactly. That's my feelings. Exactly. I mean, you're there to see a show, right? You're not there to listen to a show. I mean, there's bands that I respect tremendously that just get up there and play their songs and let the venue worry about the lights and everything.
Yeah.
And that can be fine. I mean, Pink Turns Blue comes to mind. They're amazing, but they don't really do anything particularly special for their live shows. But yeah, exactly. I want to, as a musician myself, I want to put on the kind of show that I want to see, right?
Exactly.
So you and Avalon met, was it 2015?
2013. Oh yeah, and I did want to segue off of what you were saying just now. I think also consistency is really vital. Having a similar live show or the same live show every night, with whether it's lights, your sound, whatever consistent factor you have, that really, I think, contributes to your image and your recognition as a performer. And that's why we've always tried to have a grasp on what we do every night to try to make it the same thing. Mm-hmm. So as
you've kind of frozen up there. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Let's pause the recording.
After
Oh,
that.
that's okay. You kind of froze up for a little there, but oh, it's saying that my internet connection is unstable.
Oh
Okay.
no.
I think that we'll just keep going and see what happens. What was I going
Oh,
to say? Oh, well, I'm not sure exactly what I was going to say, but an interesting thing that just kind of occurred to me is that did something with your album, Exposure Therapy, that is kind of similar to what you did with your live shows. You presented the album, and I don't know how intentional this was or not, but you presented the album as a solid piece of work, right? It wasn't just a
mm,
collection of songs. It
yeah.
had a definite beginning,
Right.
middle, and end. And your live show kind of did that too. So that's kind of interesting. Speaking of consistency, you know.
Yeah. I've always seen it, and so has Hannah. When we were about to go on tour, or about to, because usually when you put out something, you tour on it,
Yeah.
or whether it's a single, an album, an EP, whatever. Usually we'll tour on it or have shows. I think it's about curating a live performance that kind of matches that, but also you're able to see your entire timeline as a band, because we play old stuff, from our first EP, which is our first release. And I think we may have played a couple new things, probably not, but trying to think. Yeah, we've curated our live performances just as we curate our album, and I think that kind of producing it or presenting it cinematically, both things, performances and the record. I think thinking of it like cinematically and having a distinct beginning, middle, and end, I think that's really important, and it's something that we have definitely prioritized and done deliberately.
Yeah. Well, that's really refreshing because I think a lot of bands are not really doing that these days because people are consuming. I even hate the word consuming when it has to do with music, but it's true. Like people are listening to music and consuming it differently since the rise of the digital age, right? So songs are
Yeah,
these individual things, and albums are just kind of collections of these songs that you've
yeah,
downloaded one by one over the year or whatever. And I feel like it's just such a breath of fresh air to have an album that is so deliberately like constructed from beginning to end. It's just a nice experience that you're kind of taking care of the listener in a way. Like,
yeah.
you know? Yeah. So the album Exposure Therapy explores a lot of different types of like emotional themes around loss and renewal. And I might be reading into it. And if obviously this wasn't intentional because you didn't see the pandemic coming like a year and
No.
a half beforehand, but it's the themes and the lyrics are something that's kind of helping me get through such an emotional time.
Uh-huh.
You were obviously really in touch with your emotions and your feelings, and I'm wondering what kind of tools you've drawn upon to help get through kind of a pretty terrible time right now.
Um, I think the most important thing is remembering to breathe.
Mhm.
You're right. The pandemic, it came entirely out of left field, and it felt like the things that you only see in movies, and most people still don't know what to do. This whole ordeal has also continued to show the worst in some people. So I think looking out for yourself and making sure that you're okay in whatever way that means, that may mean to you, is of utmost importance. I would also say that, other than the crudely obvious fact that there's um you know nothing else to do right now,
Yeah.
the thing that's, we've still been actively, we've still been active as a band, and I think that the fact that there's this foresight that we have, that it'll all be over and that we'll be able to play live again, fingers crossed, of course, that's been a big motivator for me, and I've really tried to channel that. You know, and I that's the thing. I love to perform. But yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's okay. Do you think that being an introspective songwriter, talking about your own experiences and your own feelings, your own perspective, do you think that kind of helped prepare you for the kind of traumatic times that we're going through?
Certainly. I think that being able to harness your emotions and being strong and being willing to talk about things, um, and if you're not okay, being able to tell somebody, being able to talk about things is really important. And I think the stronger you become in channeling your emotions and being able to convey them, the easier it is, to get through things like this. You never know when something traumatic is going to happen. Um, but here we are, and I think that it has helped.
Yeah, yeah. Um, So you mentioned that you're working on new material, which I'm really excited about. I know you have a new single being released on Friday, which will have been a few days before our interview airs on Monday. So congratulations. I can't wait. I know it's a big surprise what the actual song is. You kind of teased it on social media a little bit, and we're all pretty excited to find out what it is. Feel free to tell me off camera. No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
Okay.
but the other new material, the original material that you're working on, is that going to be a full length LP?
So by the way, I'm happy to talk about it right now. Just as I know the thing comes out on Friday, but this is going to be airing
That's true.
after, so I can talk to you about it,
I won't say
and
anything.
just so it seems like present day. Um, uh, let's see. So we've been just getting our feet wet, working on different styles, and the single that we just released is kind of like a test run to see how a different approach to the sound works out. We've been materializing several new tracks in the same vein too, so overall we're really excited about where the sound and vibe is going. As far as, is it going to be a full release, I in one way or another, I don't know when that'll be, but I think that as time goes by and the production becomes a little more matured, and we have a better idea of where we're at with a set of material, what makes sense, you know, whether we put an EP, a full length, whatever, that'll be somewhere down the road. But yeah.
Great. So your sound has changed pretty markedly over the years from your first EP to the full-length album, and Exposure Therapy itself has a pretty wide array of different sounds. It starts off pretty intense and driving for the first four songs or so, and then kind of like chills out to kind of a quieter ending and a full minute of silence at the very end, which I think is pretty amazing. Um, what is behind the change for the newest album? Are there new influences, or you're just feeling like exploring different things?
Yeah, I I can say that, because all these songs that we're working on right now that we're talking about, they all came after the pandemic. The single that just came out, we finished it sort of like right near the beginning. And I can say that from experiencing the pandemic, I've wanted to actively shy away from the deeply emotive and dark places that I can go, lyrically, and for and rather, just inject, for lack of a better term, good feelings. I think it's important to remember what you have enough of, and what you don't have enough of. And the shutdown has definitely given me plenty of misery. Uh, so, I don't necessarily wish to perpetuate that. But but the lyrical content isn't really solidified quite yet, so it's hard to say where it's going to be poetically, because lyrics always come last for me in the process, because it's music and then lyrics. Uh, that's just how it works for me. So it's hard to say how it's going to be different, but I can tell, like, right now I I don't necessarily have an interest in being too dark, uh so yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, seems like a good place to leave it. Thank you so much for joining us on New Music Mondays. Congratulations on the new single. I'm very excited for it, and really excited to hear your new original material as well.
Mm.
And come back to the East Bay.
Oh, one day.
Yeah, we loved your show. It was so good.
Yeah, well, we're like mid-August right now, near the end. Wait, is it September yet? What
Yep.
day is it? What? Where? I have no idea. This shutdown has given me, like, I'm so disillusioned to time. I don't know where the
I know.
beginning is, where the end is. I don't know where I'm at in it.
I know.
So it's September pretty much already, and yeah, we were supposed to play in Oakland on the 17th. That got canceled,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, we would have been there, but we'll be back. Of
Good.
course, we'll be back.
Good. Well, tell Hannah that we said hello and we're sorry that she couldn't make it. I've exchanged a couple of messages with her on social media, and she's really awesome, and love her contributions to Wingtips as well. So take care and good luck with the recording of and the writing of the new album. And we'll see you soon, hopefully.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Vincent Segretario of Wingtips. And this is Relativity, also from Exposure Therapy. You're listening to and watching New Music Mondays. Hi everyone, hope you liked that video. If so, please like and subscribe to receive notifications when we upload more content. New Music Mondays is a live stream show every Monday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/DavyBonesOakland. It features myself and a weekly guest DJ spinning new releases in the world of dark music, post-punk, goth, dark wave, as well as interviews with the people that make the music happen. So it's a lot of fun. Make sure to join us live. Again, that's every Monday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., or actually about 9:30 Pacific time. The audio will always be uploaded the next day to my Mixcloud page, mixcloud.com/DavyBonesOakland. And thanks for watching the video on YouTube. The interviews will all be uploaded to the YouTube channel, as well as an occasional kind of behind the scenes video as well. All right. Thanks again.